Hello everybody. In today's video I'm going to continue showing you the shells in crochet, and this one is called Wide Arches. It's a moderately large pattern in which the shells alternate with open areas, and you can see how they end up kind of being framed with a little bit of a border around it. It's very pretty. So let's get started. We're going to start with a slip knot. And then we're going to do a chain that is a multiple of 8. To do your chain, you just grab your yarn and bring it through and continue doing that until you have your multiple of 8. For this sample piece, I'm going to do 24 for my multiple of 8. So I will meet you at the end of my chain. I've done my 24 chains. So just remember that whatever number you use is a multiple of 8. And then you're going to add 3 more chains. 1, 2, 3 onto your multiple of 8. And to get started, we're going to skip the first 2 chains and work in the 3rd chain from the hook. And I'm actually going to turn this over and work in these loops back here. So skip the first 2, and you're going to double crochet into that first one, and then, or into the 3rd chain from the hook. And you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and into that 4th one, just do a single crochet, chain 3, and then you're going to skip 3, and then double crochet into that stitch right there. And you're going to continue doing this all the way across your chain. So I just did my double crochet. I'm going to chain 3, and then skip 3, single crochet, chain 3, skip 3, and then double crochet. And that's your pattern for this row. And then chain 3, and then you'll skip 3, do a single crochet, chain 3, and when you come to the end of your row, you'll skip 3, and that should, if it all added up right, give you one last stitch to do, and that will be your double crochet. And you'll just double crochet in that final stitch of the row. And now to turn, we're going to chain 3, turn your work, and we're going to be working into these stitches that we did where we did our chain 3. And so we're going to single crochet into the 2nd chain stitch. Make sure you're going under both loops. We'll single crochet, chain 3, and we're going to jump over here to our next chain 3 here and work another single crochet into the 2nd chain of your chain 3, and then we're going to chain 1 And then we're going to come here to your double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet into that stitch there at the top of your other one. Chain 1, and then we'll repeat the process. So we'll single crochet into this second stitch, chain 3, and then we're going to single crochet into that second stitch there, chain 1, and then do a double crochet here in this stitch at the top of your the double crochet from the previous row. We're going to chain 1, and then I'm coming up to the end of my row. You'll have more stitches if you do a longer starting chain, but for my sample piece, and then we're just going to single crochet into that second stitch there. So it should be kind of in the center of your chain 3. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to come and single crochet into that middle stitch there, or the second stitch. Making sure you go under both loops. And then we're going to chain 1. And here we've come to the end. So we'll go ahead and double crochet. Actually, we double crochet into that space there. And then we will chain 3 and turn your work. For the next row, we're going to skip this one here, and we're going to do 7 double crochets right into this space. So there's 1, 2, and you'll just do a total of 7 all in that same space there. And 7. And we're going to come over here where we've been carrying our double crochet up here, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in that stitch right there at the top of your double crochet. And then we're just going to repeat that process all the way across our row. So we'll come over here to our next gap where we did our chain 3, and we'll do 7 double crochets right into that space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we will jump over here to our double crochet and just do 1 double crochet in that stitch right there at the top. So that way this double crochet that is by itself is staying lined up, and then you'll just continue that until you reach the end of your row. And I'm almost at the end, so I'll go ahead and do 7 double crochets in that chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to come over here to this space that we created, and we're just going to do a double crochet right into that space. And then you will chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. To begin the next row, we've already done a chain 3 here, and we're going to come to the center of this cluster. So we did 7. So 1, 2, 3. So the fourth one in, and that way you have 3 on each side. We're going to single crochet, and then we'll chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then here was our double crochet, and we're going to double crochet right into that stitch. And then you'll chain 3, and you'll repeat. So you'll do a single crochet into that center stitch of your shell, chain 3, and then we'll double crochet into that stitch that's connected to your other double crochet, and then chain 3 and repeat. So here I've come to the end of my row. So 1, 2, 3. The fourth one makes that center, and do a single crochet, chain 3, and then we're just going to double crochet, double crochet into that last space. You can see as it starts to come together, and then we will chain 3 and turn. And now we're going to repeat rows 2, 3, and 4, and that's what you'll do for your full pattern. So I'll go ahead and show you those 3 rows once again. So in row 2, what we did was we single crocheted in the second chain of that chain 3. So we'll single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to come to this next one and single crochet in the second stitch, and we're going to chain 1, continue this double crochet with a double crochet right here, and we're going to chain 1, single crochet into that second stitch of the chain, chain 3, single crochet into that second stitch of the chain, chain 1, and then do a double crochet in the top stitch of your other double crochet. And then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the second stitch of this chain, and then chain 3 and single crochet into that second stitch. And we'll chain 1, which brings us back to our end space here, and we'll just do a double crochet right into that space. And then we're going to chain 3 and turn. And now we're going to do our 7 double crochets into that chain 3 space. There's 7, and then we're going to jump over here to this double crochet, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into that stitch, and then we'll do 7 double crochets into this chain 3 space. There's 7, and then we're going to double crochet into this space, or into that stitch that's at the top of this double crochet. And we've got 1 more chain 3 space here, so we'll do 7 more double crochets into that space. And you'll continue doing that till you reach the end of your row, which I have. And then we'll just do a double crochet into this space here at the end. Then we're going to chain 3, turn, and then we're going to single crochet into the center. So there's my center. Do a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we've got our double crochet here that's by itself, and we're going to double crochet into that stitch there, and then we will chain 3 and single crochet into the center stitch of our shell here, chain 3, do a double crochet into that stitch that's at the top of that other double crochet there, chain 3, we'll single crochet into the center stitch of our shell, do another chain 3, and that for this piece it brings me to the end of my row, and so I'll just double crochet into that final space. And those are you'll continue repeating those rows until you've reached the number of rows that you want. And you can see how your shells really start to show, and they're kind of framed here by those double crochets that we left going continuously. So that is called the wide arches, and you'll just continue to repeat rows 2, 3, and 4 until you have the number or height that you want. So thank you for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it, and have fun crocheting.